Okay, well, hello. It is Monday, January 29th. It is 2 o'clock, and I will call to order the meeting of the Civil Service Commission. We are gathered here today uh, to have our first official meeting of the year, even though it's kind of on a specially scheduled, rescheduled date. So we don't have a full commission here today, but we are going to move forward uh, with the quorum that we have, and we will, in a moment, have an opportunity to officially welcome our newest commission member. But what I'd like to do is start with just introductions. Let's go around and just kind of say who you are and what you represent, and then we will move into the rest of our agenda. So I'll start. I am Mary Weidman Williams. I am the chair of the Civil Service Commission and the mayoral appointee. And I'll pass it over to the folks in the staff room there.
Well, I'm Andrea Shealy. I'm the Executive Director of the Civil Service Commission, and I'm here with Teresa Jacobs, Executive Assistant for the Commissions, and Sarah Butler, Operations and Policy Advisor for the Commissions. And we are also here with our new elected Commissioner, Commissioner Ray Caesar.
My name is Ray Caesar, the newly elected Employee Commissioner. Thank you.
Welcome aboard, new Commissioner Caesar. I'm Joe Levan. I'm in the one of the many assistant city attorneys in the city attorney's office, and I'm legal counsel for the commission.
And I'm Ann Vold. I'm also an attorney in the city attorney's office, counsel to the commission.
All right, great. Well, thank you. I will get our meeting underway then by sharing the land acknowledgement, which is that the City of Seattle Civil Service Commission acknowledges that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish. We honor with gratitude the land and the Duwamish people, both past and present. That takes us into item number 3, which is the official welcome to our new Commissioner, Ray Caesar. We do want to welcome you aboard and congratulate you for successfully being elected to the employee elected position. I want to offer you the opportunity to share a little bit about yourself or any statement you'd like to make for us before we proceed.
Madam Chair, I did prepare a statement. I hope it's not too long, maybe about 5 minutes of privilege, if I may.
Sure.
Greetings, Madam Chair and guests. My name is Ray Caesar. Just a brief background. I moved from the state of Louisiana to Seattle in the better part of the early 80s for a better workplace opportunity. It was my younger brother, Tony, a naval cadet stationed locally, who suggested I give Seattle a try. I fell in love with Seattle, and I got my first new job on day one as a federal tax enforcement bankruptcy specialist with the Internal Revenue Service locally. After a few solo years, I married my wife Angela, with whom we have 2 adult children, Kristen and Raina, and 3 grandchildren, Liam, Angel, and Lillian. I've worked as a real estate counselor locally in the Lower City Rainier Valley community of Bill Woods Realty. And during that time, I went on to complete my degree at the University of Washington in the early 2002. My employee experience at the utility, Seattle City Lights, since 2004 has been phenomenal. I work in the customer accounts division. I primarily process billing adjustments and refunds. Other out-of-class assignments includes collection representative, director assistants, payroll supervisor, and electrical service representative. I participated on boards such as Protect 17 as a trustee, the City Light Black Employees Association as president and the union steward, and I participated on the Mayor's Race and Social Justice Initiative team and the City Lights Change team. However, That which brought me most joy was being a union steward, advocating on behalf of the employees facing workplace adversity. The majority of those I represented, the common thread of concern was the negative reputational impact, even though most of the issues was insignificant as a career impediment to some, even more so if the employee was a person of color or a member of a protected class. That is why I ran for commissioner, and I believe that there is plenty of room. We can all do better with a little more empathy and defining workplace rules of engagement that are meaningful, less than outdated norms of passive accountability. That have little to do with uplifting employees. Seattle and the surrounding areas are a beautiful place to raise a family, for employment and educational opportunities. It does not matter who you are, where you're from, what race you are. The Civil Service Commission as an entity of an employee, maybe of last resort, to ensure Seattle employees are abiding by the rules and standards that we all share. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We are thrilled to have you. And I really appreciate you taking the time to prepare your statement in a way that gives us a little bit of glimpse of kind of who you are and your background and kind of what brings you to this work. We did have a retreat a few months back where we were all able to share similarly a little bit of our background and how we came to this work. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to share ourselves with you as the coming months unfold. Now we are missing one commissioner today. And so, when we are able to reconvene, you'll have an opportunity, hopefully to meet Commissioner McMillan, and then we'll all kind of decide how we might be able to catch up with sharing ourselves with you as well. So thank you and welcome. And that gets us, I want to make sure that everybody has their meeting documents. I should have asked that before, but we were sent a package and then there was an updated packet. So I wanted to make sure that we are all kind of on the same page here. So I am using the updated packet with the agenda. And that takes us to the approval of minutes then for the December 11th CSC monthly meeting. Okay.
May I say something?
Yes,
I'm sorry
yes.
to interrupt you, Commissioner Weidman-Williams, but we may not be able to vote on adoption of the meeting minutes as Commissioner Caesar was not present at that meeting.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't think we have a quorum for that vote.
Okay. So, is it appropriate though for us to, well, we won't have to vote on it. There was one correction that we were alerted to. Joe, thank you for alerting us to the misspelling of your name in the meeting minutes. It was this document, correct? Okay.
Yes.
So if we can make that correction, but we won't take the vote, we can revisit it at our next meeting.
Sounds good.
We have a quorum. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So then let's move to item number 6. There's no action items at the time of the agenda publication, but I'll check to see if there's anything that has come up since then.
No, nothing has come up.
Okay. All right. And so let's move to updates and discussion, and we'll circle back to see if we need executive session after that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chair Weidman-Williams. So because we did not have Commissioner McMillan with us today, we intend for most of these items to be sort of a preview for February, for potential vote in February. But I will first give the budget and departmental update. For budget, for Commissioner Caesar's information, you will typically see a finance budget report in here that shows the adopted budget and monthly expenditures as compared to last year. And I'm always happy to talk to you about those either inside or outside of these meetings. That's just part of the commission's sort of high level oversight role. And I don't have one in this packet because the budget to actuals report that was available to us at the time of publication did not, the adopted budget had not yet been loaded into the system. So I was not able to print that by publication. You'll have one for next month in February. But suffice it to say, hopefully suffice to say, we are beginning work on the 2025-26 biennium budget with CBO. Probably it will be no surprise to anyone in this room that the city's in a difficult budget position for that year and for this year. So, you know, we've received instruction and will follow it in working with CBO to develop our departmental budgets. As for the department update, we have a great deal of work going on with the Public Safety Civil Service Commission. We have many promotional exams that we are developing and looking at our processes for those, as well as entry-level police officer. It will also not surprise probably anyone in this room that the city continues, along with probably every other jurisdiction in the United States, to have difficulty recruiting qualified candidates for police officer. And so that work is ongoing. For the Civil Service Commission, I will, in a few minutes, give you an update on our case statuses, but there is some work going on there as well. And you know, we continue to process requests as they come in for both of the Civil Service Commissions. I don't think Sarah has a specific outreach update for you all today, but that work continues as well.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm happy to take any questions, or I'll move on to the preview of the February 2024 commission business.
I don't have any further questions, and so why don't you go ahead and move on?
Will do. Thank you. All right, so you will see at page 5 of your materials a proposed meeting schedule for 2024. And Teresa prepared this. Thank you, Teresa Jacobs, for that work. Our regular meeting time, well, I'm sorry, it has been our general practice to meet as we are today on Mondays at 2 o'clock. I did check with, or we did check with both of you as well as Commissioner McMillan that generally does work for 2024. And so this these proposed dates on page 5 indicate the dates that we think would work for meetings for the rest of the year. And there is a asterisk next to meetings that are not scheduled on the 3rd Monday of the month. We can put this up for a vote. We certainly want to, you know, have all of Commissioner McMillan's information available before we do vote on this. But if anything is showing up here to either of you that isn't going to work, we'd love to hear about that now or sometime before the February meeting so we can update this calendar.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to say about that, Teresa?
I might have a conflict. July the 15th is my anniversary day. You know, that's gonna be tough. But I don't know. But sometimes we stay home and sometimes we don't.
Oh, you might be out of the area. Okay. Well,
I made plans for that.
yeah, I know that's pretty far out, isn't it? The other thing we can always do, Commissioner Caesar, is if a conflict does come up, you can let us know about that, hopefully in advance, and we can try to reschedule a meeting. There's a possibility, there's definitely the possibility, you know, for us to get together over email or telephone and just figure out another date that month that works for all of the commissioners and staff. So of course, oh, Joe Levan, you've got your hand up.
Yes, just in terms of the process, so we're all on the same page, kind of based on what the Open Public Meetings Act requires. So what this document provides is a listing of the proposed dates for regular meetings for the commission for this year. As you know, there's a difference between a regular meeting and a special meeting. But today's meeting is a special meeting because it's outside the normal scheduling. So what you would do is either whether you vote today or the next meeting, you would vote on the dates, and it's the requirement for your bylaws is that you have a monthly meeting, although those can be canceled if you don't have enough business to have it that month. But you would set a schedule for one meeting per month for the rest of the year that'll be posted on the website, and that would be your regular meeting schedule. And again, in the future, if you need to deviate from any of those, you could. Those would just be special meetings, but that's you would do this by adopting a motion. So someone would move to adopt this schedule as agreed to, and then someone would second that, and you'd vote on that motion to set the regular meeting schedule for 2024.
Okay, that's helpful. But we can still continue to respond to the question of conflicts for
Mhm.
any of these before we
Yeah.
entertain a motion. Okay.
So you could either vote on it today, or you could wait till the next meeting and vote on it
Okay.
when you have all three commissioners present.
Okay.
However you want to do it, and that would just mean that the next meeting would also be a special meeting, but that's okay. You can do that as well.
Why would the next meeting be a special meeting?
Because before you take action to adopt this schedule,
Mhm.
then it's not your official schedule yet. Unless there's a standing motion that the commission has passed previously that has set that schedule. So I'm not aware of that, but that's why we'd be doing this, is because you'd be
Everything will be special until we adopt the calendar.
Yeah.
So we can
okay.
decide,
Everything's special till we adopt the calendar. Got it.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So February 12th will be a special meeting, and our plan is also at that meeting to adopt the regular calendar. So everything after that will be regular, unless we have to make a change, perhaps due to, Commissioner Caesar's conflict, or maybe not.
Okay.
Would you like us, Commissioner Caesar, to try to find a different date? It sounds like you're pretty likely to need that day off because you're doing something with your family.
Yes.
Okay, we will look at some alternative dates and share those around and find something else that we can put on the February proposal.
Okay. And likewise, I'm teaching the week of September 16th. It's possible that I could still be in the meeting, but it may
Okay.
provide a conflict on that day.
Thank you, Commissioner Weidman-Williams. We will find some alternatives.
Okay.
Great, I'm glad we had this discussion. Do either of you want to add anything else, or are our council not available for any of these on vacation or anything like that?
I
Great.
don't.
All
Okay.
right, we'll send some dates around and get some feedback on those.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I'll move on to the next item on the agenda. So thank you for Teresa for adding into the this topic is the selection of the 2024 commission chair. You'll find the relevant rule at page 6 in your packet. For anyone's information, Mary Weidman-Williams is currently the chair of the commission. And we do vote every year, the commission votes every year to elect the chair for that year. We typically would hold that vote in January, but we have put it off till February so that Commissioner McMillan can be present. The rule sets forth what the duties of the chair are. In addition to that, we typically set up a monthly meeting at a regular meeting ahead of the monthly meeting to go over the agenda, to talk about any issues, and we can schedule them more frequently if needed. Is there any other discussion or questions that anyone wants to have regarding that vote, potential motion or vote that we'll put on the February agenda?
I do not.
Just one note on that is the code or the bylaw provision does provide that the commissioner may serve 2 consecutive terms as chair. That's a consideration going forward as well.
And yes, and Commissioner Weidman-Williams was elected this year, but she's graciously agreed to continue serving as the chair until we have this vote.
That's correct.
For 2024. All right, I'll move on to item F, 7F. That is a preview for February. There is an employee in the city, and her name is Rita Gray. She is a subject matter expert on native land acknowledgements, indigenous land acknowledgements, and we have been speaking as a commission for several months, I think, about wanting to consider, discuss, think deeply about this commission's practice of doing a land acknowledgement at their meetings. And so this is something that Rita supports departments and groups within departments on. So we learned about her. How did we learn about her? A couple different ways, I think. Just internally having conversations in the city, and our previous elected commissioner, Josh Warner, had met with her and done a training with her and done some of this work in his department, SPU. So we did invite Ms. Gray to come join us in February to speak to the commission and engage in conversation around the commission's hopes, intentions, understanding of land acknowledgement, and to just perhaps, do some work around that together. And she is available for that meeting, is that right, Teresa? For February, yes. Yeah.
As of the last time that we spoke was beginning of January.
Great. And we're really grateful to Ms. Gray for making the time for us and for her department to let her come and spend her time with us as well. She's in the Seattle Human Resources Department. Looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that conversation, and I appreciate her flexibility and for you all to keep track and of all the rescheduling needs around that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that conversation too. I think I know I have a lot to learn from her. All right, my next item is the case status report and appeal update. You'll find those materials at page 7. We have 2 appeals pending before the Civil Service Commission right now. One is the first one is actually the second one on the list, but it is case 23-03002. The title of the case is Reichenbach v. SPU. This Reichenbach is an employee of SPU, and her appeal's been on our list for a little while now. The status of that case is that those parties, Ms. Reichenbach and SPU, are engaged in some motions practice. The SPU filed a motion to dismiss, and we are in the process of we have received Ms. Reichenbach's response, and we're scheduled to receive SPU's reply this week. Following that, I will consider the briefs and consult with our attorneys and very likely rule on that motion.
Great, thank
It will
you.
probably take me a couple of weeks to do that.
Okay.
They actually are some fairly lengthy briefs in that matter. Joe, did I hear you try to say something? Okay. I will move on to the other matter, which is case number 23-01-003. LaFazia Garrity v. HSD. That case was filed in November 2023. It is a disciplinary appeal of a suspension. The status of that case is that the parties have actually informed us that they have resolved the matter, and we understand that Ms. LaFazia Garrity does plan to withdraw her appeal. We have not yet received that withdrawal, but we anticipate receiving it shortly, and then it will be resolved. If something happens, we'll be sure to update the commission.
Great, thank you.
And that concludes the case status report and appeal update.
Okay, well, if there are no other questions regard to any of those executive director updates, I'm going to say thank you, and then we'll circle back to see if there's any need for executive session. So I'll,
And no
Joe?
need today. Yeah, thank you.
okay, great. Old or new business?
None from me.
Okay. None from me as well. I look forward to our next meeting and hopefully having all three commissioners present so that we may attend to some of these matters that are being deferred. And I appreciate everyone's time. It is 2:26 and we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you all.
Thank
See
you.
you on February 12th at 2:30.
All right, see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.